podcast where truth moves faster than a Holstein calf. No waiting on some pretty page. We're charting new ground in the digital age. From genomic codes to robot facts, we cut through the noise, no holding back. Not your daddy's dairy news tonight. We're sparking debates with every insight. The ring's not where the real fight's at. It's in the data, in the channel chat. From pasture to processor to your morning cup, we're raising the stakes. Try and get ahead of herd. Yeah! Where the future's more than just a word. Ahead of herd. Come on! The Bullvine's calling, let your voice be heard.
Welcome to the Bullvine podcast, where dairy meets straight talk and sharper thinking. We're your hosts, the Bullvine team, bringing you the latest inside perspectives from across the dairy industry. Today's episode dives into the true story behind herd management software in 2025, what's working, what's hype, and what producers like you are really seeing in the barn. We'll cut through the noise, share hard numbers, and challenge the usual sales pitch. Whether you're running 100 cows or 2,000, if you care about staying ahead of the herd, this one's for you. Grab your coffee, park the excuses, and let's dive in.
Welcome back to the Bullvine podcast, the show that digs deep into the topics that matter to dairy producers.
That's right. Today we're tackling a really interesting feature article from the Bullvine that's got everyone talking. We're going to break it all down.
Exactly. We're diving headfirst into dairy tech in 2025. Discipline delivers real ROI. Now, if you're like many producers, the phrase dairy tech, it might conjure up images of flashy new gadgets, right?
Mm-hmm. Complex dashboards.
Complex dashboards, yeah. And promises of magic fixes for, well, everything from labor shortages to feed costs.
Right. The silver bullet idea.
Totally. For a long time, the conversation around technology in our industry has been, overflowing with exactly that kind of hype.
Suggesting all your problems can be solved with a single download or, a shiny new sensor.
But the real story on the ground, as this article so aptly puts it, is far more nuanced and, frankly, a lot more challenging.
But also maybe more rewarding in the end.
Ultimately, yes, more rewarding. Our mission today is really to cut through that marketing speak.
Yeah, get past the gloss.
And get right to what genuinely works, what producers are actually seeing in the field, and crucially, what it truly takes to make these pretty significant investments pay off.
Because they are significant investments.
Absolutely. So this deep dive is specifically for you, whether you're actively considering new technology.
Or maybe you're struggling to get your current systems to deliver on their promises. That happens too.
Oh, for sure. Or maybe you're just intensely curious about where the dairy industry is actually heading. We're going to uncover some surprising facts, I think.
You delve into those practical applications.
And hopefully give you that true aha moment, where you realize it's not just the fancy software or the shiny new sensor that transforms your operation.
Right. It's something else.
It's the consistent, often painstaking daily discipline you and your team bring to actually using that technology.
It's about how that tech becomes like an indispensable part of your routine, right?
Exactly. Not just another item on your massive to-do list. Yep. Okay, let's unpack this. The article starts by challenging a very common notion, this idea of technology as a magic fix.
Right off the bat.
Yeah. It talks about all the sophisticated dashboards and the, frankly, overwhelming amount of data they can generate.
Data overload is real.
Totally.
Yeah.
Suggesting that while they look impressive, they might primarily be benefiting the bigger farms, the ones with vast resources to implement and manage these really complex systems.
It's a sentiment you hear, right? Like, that's great for the 5,000 cow dairy, but what about me?
Exactly. Feeling like these advancements are maybe out of their league or just not designed for their scale. But then the article immediately hits us with some stark numbers.
Yeah, the numbers are sobering.
They really paint a very clear and honestly somewhat alarming picture of the industry's changing face. We're talking about a significant contraction.
Okay, what are we looking at?
Between 2017 and 2023, nearly 40% of U.S. dairies closed their doors.
40% in just 6 years. Wow.
It's huge. Falling from 39,300 to about 24,000 licensed herds. That's a massive shift in a very short period.
Okay, but here's the kicker.
And yet, here's the profound paradox.
Yeah.
Total U.S. milk output continues to climb.
Right. Fewer farms, more milk. How does that even work?
How do we even begin to reconcile those two seemingly contradictory facts.
What's fascinating here is that this isn't just about statistics. It's a profound shift in a way of life that's changing incredibly fast.
Definitely.
You're right. That paradox is really at the heart of it. And the article, it attributes this directly to consolidation.
Bigger getting bigger.
Essentially, yeah. The farms that are surviving and, well, thriving, particularly in key regions like the West and the Northeast, they're effectively running much bigger herds. We're now seeing that farms with 1,000 cows and up.
1,000 cows used to sound enormous.
Right. Now they're producing almost 2/3 of all American milk.
2/3 from those larger operations.
That concentration of production in larger operations, it fundamentally changes the landscape for everyone involved.
So for the average dairy producer listening, this isn't just some abstract economic trend happening somewhere else.
No, absolutely not. It highlights this undeniable efficiency imperative, a drive towards increasing scale.
Right.
And implicitly, the urgent need for robust tools and systems to effectively manage that scale.
It's not just about cutting costs, is it?
No, it's about optimizing every single process, everything from feed conversion to herd health. You got to get more out of every cow and every hour of labor.
It's survival through peak performance, essentially.
That's a good way to put it. The article further points out that the global herd management software market is already roughly a $5 billion market this year.
$5 billion? Wow.
And a significant chunk of that growth is primarily driven by these North American megaherds.
Okay.
It's a huge market, yes. But the immediate, very real concern for many producers out there is whether this explosion of tech, is it truly relevant to their specific operation?
Right. Or is it just benefiting the biggest players?
Exactly. It's a challenge to distinguish genuine utility from all the marketing hype, especially when you're not operating at that megahertz scale.
Yeah.
You know, the article perfectly captures this social pressure with that anecdote.
The Indiana dairyman.
Yeah, the Indiana dairyman whose neighbor's convinced if you can't bring up POW records on your phone, you might as well be running a museum.
And he says, not joking either.
Not joking. That really sums up the rapidly evolving perception of what even constitutes a modern dairy these days.
It totally does.
It sets the stage for a crucial question for really all producers. Can this technology truly deliver for everyone, or is it just another tool for the titans pushing smaller operations further behind?
That's a staggering transformation. Beyond the raw numbers, what does this consolidation mean for the ecosystem of the dairy industry?
That's a really important angle.
Are we seeing certain regions or types of farms being disproportionately affected?
Definitely. The article implies, and we kind of see this play out, that regions like the Midwest, which historically had many smaller family-run dairies, have felt the crunch more acutely.
Yeah.
Compared to, say, the Western states, where larger operations were already more the norm. It's not just about losing farms. It's about losing the unique contributions those farms made to their local economies, their communities.
The whole fabric of the area.
Exactly. And for the smaller producer who isn't scaling up to 1,000 cows, how does this efficiency imperative manifest for them?
Yeah, in a realistic, actionable way.
Well, it seems it manifests as an intense focus on optimizing existing resources. It's about getting every single ounce of potential out of fewer cows.
Precision management.
Precision management on a smaller scale, yeah. Minimizing waste, maximizing the effectiveness of every labor hour. Tech can still play a crucial role there.
But maybe a different type of tech.
Or a more targeted implementation, perhaps.
Yeah.
It's not just about adopting technology, like you said, but complete rethink of how you operate, regardless of your size.
That's such a powerful point about the perception of modernity and the broader impact. It's no longer just about keeping up. It's really about survival in this increasingly competitive, consolidated environment. And that leads us perfectly to where it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
The article immediately shifts its focus to something that I know you listening are grappling with every single day.
Oh, yeah, labor.
Labor. It doesn't mince words, calls labor a nightmare. And frankly, I don't think anyone involved in dairy production, from the smallest family farm to the largest commercial operation, would disagree with that.
Not one bit. High turnover, high costs.
High costs, the stress. We hear stories about attracting and retaining good people. I mean, everything from competitive wages to housing and benefits.
It's relentless.
And the sheer relentless stress it places on owners and managers who are often left scrambling to fill shifts or, take on extra work themselves.
Right, wearing too many hats.
The article uses that poignant anecdote. Last winter, our best night guy was one cold calf away from quitting.
Ooh, Yeah, that hits home for a lot of folks.
That single line, it just encapsulates so much of the day-to-day struggle, the emotional toll, and that fine line between managing a crisis and losing a crucial team member.
And these aren't isolated incidents, right? It's everywhere.
No, they're endemic, echoing across dairies from Minnesota right through to Ontario. But amidst this struggle,
There's some hope.
the article presents some genuinely promising figures. It suggests significant labor savings can be directly linked to the intelligent adoption of technology.
Okay, so what kind of numbers are we talking?
For farms pushing 500 cows and up those using robots or other tightly integrated software systems for milking, feeding, calf care.
The more automated setups.
Right. We're seeing reliable labor savings in the range of 20% to 35%.
20 to 35%, that's substantial.
It really is. That's potentially cutting multiple full-time positions or, maybe more importantly, reallocating that valuable labor to more skilled tasks.
Right. Moving people to management or health roles.
Exactly. And for smaller herds, say in the 150 to 300 cow range?
Yeah, what about them?
Well, robust large-scale studies are apparently still emerging, but the estimate is maybe a best-case scenario of 10% to 18% savings.
Okay, so still potentially significant, even for smaller guys.
That buzz at farm meetings suggests that even for these smaller operations, technology isn't just an option, but maybe a potential lifeline in navigating this labor crisis.
This raises an important question for all of us, though. While those labor savings figures are certainly compelling, they sound great.
They do.
The article is very, very clear that they come with significant caveats. Big ones.
The fine print.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not as simple as just installing the tech and poof, the savings materialize instantly.
Right?
The true return on investment isn't just about the hardware or the software itself. It's profoundly about what you do with it.
The human element again?
The human element, the operational discipline. Let's look at some of the specific examples the article provides because they really drive this point home. Discipline is the actual differentiator.
Okay, let's see them.
Take AllFlex SenseHub, for instance, those activity monitoring collars.
We see those everywhere.
Over 1 million North American cows are wearing them. They track rumination, activity, eating patterns.
Right.
And Iowa State University extension data points to an impressive average of 87% heat detection.
87%. That sounds fantastic compared to just watching cows.
Huge step up, right. But here's the crucial caveat highlighted by a Minnesota producer quoted in the article. He says, "We were nailing above 90% heat detection for months.
Okay.
But as soon as the logs slipped, so did the results."
So what does log slipped mean in practice?
It means the discipline wasn't there. It could mean staff not consistently checking the alerts from the system.
Right. Ignoring the notification.
Or not following up on detected heats promptly, or failing to record breedings accurately in whatever system they use.
So the data wasn't acted on or wasn't managed properly.
Exactly. The consequence is missed heats, delayed breedings, and a direct hit to the herd's reproductive efficiency and ultimately the farm's bottom line.
So the ROI, which they estimated 15-20 months.
Only achievable with disciplined protocols. It wasn't the caller's fault. It was the follow-through that faltered.
That perfectly illustrates it. A sensor is only as good as the human response.
Yeah.
So what about other systems? Does this discipline theme play out with more integrated software too?
Precisely. The same principle applies to those more comprehensive herd management platforms. Take AFAFarm, AFAMilk.
Okay.
Dairies in Michigan and the Northeast are reporting impressive savings, $120 to $200 per cow per year.
Per cow per year. That adds up fast.
Huge potential impact on profitability. It comes from optimizing feed, detecting health issues earlier, improving repro. But the crucial caveat here.
Let me guess. Discipline.
You got it. Only if the team checks dashboards daily.
Daily.
Daily. Hits snooze on tech and the magic fades. This isn't passive technology. It demands active daily engagement.
So you can't just set it and forget it.
Not at all. The system generates alerts for cows needing attention, deviations in milk production, changes in activity. The data is there, presented clearly. But it's worthless if it's ignored or only reviewed, once a week.
Right. Imagine a mastitis alert gets missed for 24 hours.
Exactly. That's a small issue potentially becoming a full-blown clinical case, costing way more in treatment, milk loss, cow welfare. The magic, as the article implies, lies in the action derived from the data.
Okay, makes sense. And the third example,
Delaval Delpro, often associated with robotic milking systems.
Right, the robot barns.
Robot barns across Iowa and New York are reporting what the article says is 6-hour-per-day labor cuts, and they explicitly state that's not a typo.
6 hours a day, wow.
Peer data confirms overall savings of 18% to 33% once teams are dialed in.
Once teams are dialed in, there's the catch again.
There it is, the caveat. Training is consistently described as a pain.
A pain, that sounds ominous.
But the reward is there for those who dig in and embrace the new way of working. This isn't just pushing a button.
No, it's managing a whole new system.
It involves understanding how the robots operate, how to interpret their performance metrics, how to handle cows that don't transition smoothly, how to perform maintenance.
So the pain of training is that steep learning curve.
And the significant investment in time and effort required from staff to become proficient. But the payoff, if you get there, is immense. Substantial labor reallocation or reduction.
So what does disciplined protocols, check dashboards daily, and teams are dialed in actually look like on the farm? It feels like more than just tech. It's a fundamental shift.
It is a shift in management commitment and staff engagement.
It means establishing clear roles, right? Responsibilities for monitoring the tech, logging data accurately, acting on insights quickly.
Absolutely. It implies a cultural change where data isn't just collected and stored, but used as a primary driver for daily decisions and long-term strategy.
But, for a busy dairy farmer, adding check dashboards daily to an already packed schedule, that sounds like a hurdle in itself.
It does.
How do farms successfully embed this new habit without just burning out their staff?
That's a brilliant question, and it really gets to the heart of the how. The article implies, and my observations kind of confirm this, successful integration isn't about adding more work, but about realigning existing work and priorities. Those daily dashboard checks don't have to be a multi-hour deep dive.
Right.
They can be a focused 15-minute routine. Morning chores, shift change. What makes it work is having a designated person.
One owner.
One individual who owns that responsibility, not just as an add-on, but as a core part of their job. They become the tech lead, flagging issues, ensuring follow-up.
Makes sense.
And the training. The article suggests a successful farms approach training not as a one-off event, but as an ongoing process, embedded.
Continuous learning.
Yeah. Creating a culture where staff feel empowered, not burdened. Maybe involving staff in the initial setup, the decision-making that fosters ownership.
Right. Get their buy-in early.
And regular, brief team meetings to review dashboard data. Discuss actions, what worked, what didn't. Turn data review into a collaborative problem-solving session, not a top-down mandate.
So it becomes part of the conversation.
Exactly. Without that human commitment to operational excellence, without constantly nurturing those new routines, even the most sophisticated tech becomes just an expensive paperweight.
It truly underscores that the ROI is directly proportional to the discipline applied by the team.
Couldn't have said it better.
You've really hit on that crucial point, leveraging insights, not just collecting them. Okay, so that leads us to the next big question beyond labor. Labor is undeniably huge, critical.
Top of mind for most.
But what about other areas where technology can deliver real, measurable value? The article does a fantastic job diving into some of these other high-impact areas.
Like feed, health.
Specifically, feed efficiency, health management, and what it calls barn-ready data.
Barn-ready data. I like that term. Meaning it's actionable right away.
Exactly. Information that's immediately usable for daily decisions by farm staff, not complex reports needing tons of analysis.
Gotcha. Practical stuff.
And, of course, the ever-present, often increasing, reality of regulatory compliance.
Oh, yeah. Can't forget that.
Let's start with feed waste. This is an area where even small improvements can lead to really significant savings.
Feed is usually the biggest cost, right?
Often, yeah. The article highlights that genuine log entries are cutting $15,000 to $30,000 per year in feed waste for 120 to 200 head herds.
15 to 30 grand. For that size herd, that's huge.
It's a massive number for operations of that size. Shows the power of precise, real-time data collection. It's not just what you think you're feeding.
It's what's actually being consumed, what's left in the bunk.
Identifying inefficiencies in mixing or delivery. Then there's health.
Okay.
The article states that $180 to $240 per cow per year in savings are on the table for barns that act on mastitis or lameness alarms.
Again, per cow per year, that really adds up across the herd.
These are not insignificant figures. Serious potential for boosting profitability and, importantly, improving animal welfare.
It's clear that tech can shine a light on problems before they become crises. Proactive management.
But again, as we discussed with labor, it's not just the tech providing the data.
It's the timely action that follows.
Exactly.
If we zoom out a bit and look at the bigger picture here, these figures truly underscore something huge. The immense potential of dairy tech extends far beyond just labor.
Definitely.
However, as you rightly point out, there's that consistent theme running through all these examples, the trick and the catch.
Always about human action and follow-through.
Always. It's about translating data into decisions and then into physical work. Let's unpack the specifics. With feed,
Yeah.
the article stresses that the trick is to log actual data, not just when the nutritionist walks in.
The company's coming effect.
Exactly. It's easy to clean up the data for a quarterly review or when a consultant is visiting, but consistent internal data collection day in and day out, that's what actually drives genuine savings.
It reveals the real waste points.
Right. The anecdote in the article, sick of hearing about Europe, what our Wisconsin nutritionist said last week. Fair point. It kind of underscores this. It's not about idealized conditions or prepping for an audit. It's about the real world, continuous effort to capture accurate info that reflects the true daily operations of your barn.
Okay, so that's the trick for feed. What about the catch for health?
For health management, the potential savings are clear, but the catch is equally direct. The app finds the cow, but you got to treat her by noon, or it's just bites, not results.
Speed is critical.
Absolutely. The technology serves as an alert system, early warning for mastitis, ketosis, lameness through sensors and algorithms. But the value isn't in the alert itself.
It's in the rapid, effective response.
Exactly. An alarm on a dashboard that isn't acted upon quickly is just noise, not a solution. Delaying treatment for even a day
It can dramatically increase recovery time, costs, milk loss.
turns a preventable issue into a chronic problem. This is where that barn-ready data really shines. It's not enough to have the data.
It needs to be presented so someone can quickly ID the animal, understand the issue, and start the right protocol without digging through reports.
Precisely. Clarity and speed for intervention.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. But beyond these day-to-day operational efficiencies, the article also brings up something that's becoming, well, an undeniable force.
Yeah.
Regulatory demands.
Yes. The compliance piece. How does tech fit into that puzzle?
Well, beyond these direct operational savings, the article delves into this increasingly critical area, regulatory compliance,
Which is no longer just a bureaucratic hurdle, right? It's tied to money.
directly linked to financial premiums and even market access. For our listeners north of the border, Canada's proAction reality is a prime example.
Right. The 6 pillars.
If you're in Canada, you're grinding through those 6 pillars: animal care, food safety, traceability, environment, biosecurity, milk quality.
It's comprehensive.
And the article states explicitly, if your software doesn't sync with Lactanet,
The National Milk Recording Body.
you're looking at big trouble at quota review,
Ouch. That means potential penalties, reduced quota.
or even loss of marketability if your records aren't impeccable. Well, programs like Ontario's Agri-Tech Cost Share can help with funding.
There's always a but.
The article warns the paperwork will test anyone's patience.
So the tech needs to simplify and automate that compliance reporting, make it less painful.
It's almost a necessity now, not just a convenience, to navigate that complexity without huge admin burden or financial risk.
And the U.S. isn't immune either, right? FSMA Rule 204.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
FSMA Rule 204, focusing on enhanced traceability for foods like dairy, is raising the cost of paperwork mistakes significantly.
How so?
The article gives a vivid example. A Pennsylvania DFA herd lost a $5,000 premium
$5,000 for what?
for a single missed log entry.
One missed entry. Wow. That's harsh.
Think about that, a single seemingly small oversight, and suddenly a $5,000 bonus vanishes. That can be the difference between profit and loss for some farms.
It really highlights how directly digital record keeping now impacts your financial viability.
It hammers home the point. Digital record keeping means money, not just compliance. It's about protecting your premiums, maintaining market access, avoiding costly penalties.
So the stakes are really high for getting the record keeping right.
Incredibly high. And speaking of money, the article also mentions grants. These can be a huge help in offsetting that initial investment.
Yeah, programs like USDA Dairy Business Innovation, Ontario's Agri-Tech, they cover a good chunk, right? 35–50%.
They do. They're designed to encourage adoption, provide needed capital. But even here, there's a note of caution. Another catch.
Oh, what's the catch with free money?
Well, a practical reality check from a buddy quoted in the article. Don't forget to count application time every hour matters.
The hidden cost, the time suck of filling out forms.
Exactly. It points to another area where disciplined, meticulous application follow-through is essential. Grant applications can be complex.
Detailed plans, budgets, proof of concept.
If you rush it or don't commit the necessary time, you might miss out on funding or face delays. Another place where discipline pays.
So the analysis here is clear. Compliance, grants, they aren't just admin tasks anymore. They're intrinsically linked to financial performance.
Market access, overall viability. Tech facilitates it, streamlines data collection and reporting.
But only if it's used with absolute precision and commitment from the farm's management and staff.
It's about integrating these digital tools seamlessly into your workflow, making them part of the operational rhythm, not an extra burden.
Right, not just another chore.
It's abundantly clear. The investment in tech is only as good as the systems and the people supporting it. The article's title, Discipline Delivers Real ROI, it just perfectly encapsulates this whole discussion.
It really does.
So what does this all mean for you, the dairy producer listening right now, who's looking to make technology genuinely pay off? The article offers some very specific, actionable advice.
Moving beyond generalities into the nitty-gritty.
Exactly. Creating a roadmap for success. First, it advises. Focus on your biggest pain point.
Don't try to boil the ocean.
Right. Don't try to fix everything at once, whether that's labor shortages, low fertility, or navigating compliance. Identify your primary bottleneck.
And direct your tech investment there.
Trying to solve too many problems simultaneously with new tech. It's often a recipe for overwhelm, diluted effort, and, well, failure.
Strategic targeting. Like, if labor is number one, focus there first, even if feed tech looks cool, too.
Precisely. Second, and this is crucial, designate one person to own the solution.
The tech boss.
The tech boss. The article puts it perfectly. Everyone's job, no one's responsibility. This single point of accountability is absolutely vital.
Ensure someone's truly responsible for the whole life cycle. Implementation, training, data integrity, maintenance.
And ultimately, it's success in delivering that promised ROI.
Yeah.
Without that dedicated ownership, even the best systems can just fall by the wayside.
Become underutilized, poorly managed. That person's the internal expert, the troubleshooter, the advocate.
Totally. Third, and this is a brilliant kind of counterintuitive piece of advice, trial it during your operation's toughest stretch.
Ooh, okay. Not during the slow season.
No. Test it during calving season, the depths of winter, your busiest haylage runs.
Stress test it.
Exactly. If it works under those high-stress conditions, when your team is already stretched thin and every minute counts, then you know it's robust enough to work anytime.
It's a real-world stress test for the system and the team's ability to integrate it under pressure. If it survives the chaos, it's a keeper.
Makes sense. And finally, the article recommends run weekly dashboard meetings.
Weekly. Keep the focus sharp.
And if your numbers aren't shifting as expected, the solution isn't just to blame the software.
Right. Don't just ditch the tech.
You need to change the staff or process, not just the software. This emphasizes continuous evaluation, adaptation, and holding people accountable for results.
So the tech acts like a mirror, reflecting where changes really need to happen in your operations or team dynamics.
Perfectly put. These aren't just data reviews, they're opportunities for problem solving, celebrating successes, and refining your approach constantly.
This raises an important question then. This isn't just about implementing a new gadget or following a checklist of best practices.
No, it's deeper.
It's fundamentally about shifting the farm's culture. The article's conclusion really brings this message home in a powerful way, echoing everything we've discussed. The ultimate takeaway is strikingly simple, yet profound. Dairy tech is only as tough as your routines.
It cuts through all the hype, doesn't it?
It gets right to the core truth. It doesn't matter your farm size or location, Saskatchewan or Vermont, big parlor or tie stall.
Right.
The article declares unequivocally that discipline still beats gadgets.
Discipline beats gadgets. I like that.
This means the real return on investment, the true ROI. It doesn't come from merely signing on the dotted line for a new system or hitting download on an app.
It comes from showing up, not just signing on.
Exactly. It's about the daily, consistent, often painstaking effort put into leveraging that technology, integrating it into the very fabric of your farm.
Which implies a deep, unwavering commitment from leadership and staff alike.
Absolutely. But, what are the inherent challenges in cultivating this kind of pervasive discipline across an entire farm operation, especially when everyone's already stretched thin?
And change is often met with resistance.
Yeah. How can farmers truly overcome that inertia or maybe the fear of the unknown that can set in when adopting entirely new routines?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Because it's rarely just about the technology itself.
Right, it's the people side.
Cultivating that discipline, it comes down to several factors, I think. First, clear, consistent communication from leadership.
The why.
Exactly. Why are we doing this? What benefits will it bring to everyone? Not just the bottom line. People need to understand the vision.
Makes sense. What else?
Second, adequate and ongoing training, like you mentioned earlier, but also giving staff the time and space to adapt.
Permission to learn, maybe make mistakes.
Yes. Learn without feeling rushed or judged. Third, it's about celebrating the small wins.
Okay. Like what?
When the new heat detection system helps catch a critical breeding, acknowledge that success publicly. Share it. This builds confidence, reinforces the value of the new routine.
It's positive reinforcement.
For sure. And finally, it comes back to having that designated tech boss.
Go-to person.
That person who can mentor, troubleshoot, be a consistent point of contact, ensuring no one feels abandoned with a new system they don't fully understand.
So it's not just about adding equipment.
It's about integrating that tech into the very fabric of the farm's daily life, making it indispensable, part of every routine, not an optional add-on that gets pushed aside when things get busy.
It demands a proactive, engaged mindset, seeing tech as an enabler of better processes, not a substitute for them.
And understanding that the true tech on the farm is actually the human element applying the discipline.
Well said.
So, after all that, what's the key takeaway for a farmer listening today? If they could only remember a few things.
Well, the article really distills it down to a few critical, actionable pieces of advice, things you can actually use to navigate this tech landscape effectively.
Okay, let's recap those.
First, when it comes to labor savings potential, remember those big numbers, 20-35% for larger herds with robots and integrated software? It is possible.
What?
But the absolute key is designating that single tech boss, one person with clear ownership and accountability.
Got it. Accountability.
And critically, trial any new system during your busiest season. Put it through the ringer.
Stress test it during calving or haylage.
Exactly. Ensure it integrates when you need it most. That's backed by findings from Iowa State. NMPF disciplined implementation is key.
Okay, point one. Accountability and stress testing for labor tech. What's next?
Second, the financial impact of data logging. Consistent daily feed and health tracking isn't just good practice, it's a direct profit driver.
It slashes waste.
Potentially up to $30,000 a year for a 200-cow herd, according to the article. The trick is logging actual barn data.
Not just the pretty data for the nutritionist.
Right. Real, continuous internal data. And then, crucially, acting promptly on those alerts.
Gotta treat her by noon.
Or it's just bites, not results. That proactive response is where UW extension data also shows significant financial gains. Treat promptly.
Point two. Log real data daily. Act on alerts fast. Number three.
Third, you absolutely must view compliance as a profit protector. Those regulatory programs, Canada's proAction, US's FSMA Rule 204, they aren't going away.
And they demand bulletproof digital records.
So your choice of tech platform isn't just about convenience. It's about choosing systems that reliably sync with critical reporting bodies like Lactanit or meet FDA requirements.
It's essential to protect bonuses and avoid those hefty penalties.
And maintain market access. It's not optional anymore.
Point three. Compliance tech protects profit.
Fourth, remember this is a strategic investment. The global herd management software market is booming, past $5 billion.
And the most profitable dairies
are consistently those that truly use data for action, not just for simple compliance or passive record keeping. That's coming from the Journal of Dairy Science Market Analysis.
So think strategically about how the tech enables proactive management and drives outcomes.
Exactly. It needs to be a strategic tool, not just a data repository.
Okay. And the final point.
Finally, a focused approach is paramount. Don't get overwhelmed trying to fix everything at once.
Focus on the core bottleneck.
Whether that's labor, health, compliance, focus your tech investments there, and crucially, run those weekly dashboard reviews.
Not just to look at data,
but to use those regular check-ins to continually drive improvements, adapt your processes, hold your team accountable.
The tech helps you see.
You still have to walk the path with consistent effort and discipline.
Great points. Really distills the core message.
Yeah, I think that covers the key takeaways from the article.
Fantastic.
And that's all the time we have for today's deep dive. For more articles and insights, be sure to visit www.thebullvine.com.
Don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for listening. And as you implement these ideas and embark on your own tech journey, consider this. How might actively sharing your experiences, your tech successes, and the inevitable challenges and lessons learned contribute to the collective advancement of the dairy industry, even for farms just down the road? What's your barn floor lesson that could spark a new idea or solve a common problem for someone else?
That's a wrap for this episode of the Bullvine podcast. Thanks for taking time out of your day to join the conversation. Remember, the only thing more valuable than data is sharing what works and what doesn't with neighbors who truly get it. If you've got a barn floor insight, a tech win, or just a good story, drop us a line at thebullvine.com. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite platform and catch us next time for more bold, honest, and practical dairy talk. Stay sharp, keep milking it, and we'll see you down the road.